My name is Lyudmila Komkova. I am a teacher in first grade at Christian school in Busha, Ukraine. I wasn't sure what to do with Matvey, one of my students who was 6-year-old. When he had a question during the Ukrainian language lesson, he didn't sit quietly and raise his hand like the other children. Instead, he stood up. "Where should I write?" he shouted. During math, he also didn't sit quietly and raise his hand. "Which page are we at in the textbook?" he shouted. I tried to explain to Matvey that he needed to sit quietly and raise his hand when he had a question. But he didn't seem to understand. His shouting was disrupting the class. The first graders quickly made friends with one another. But Matvey had trouble making friends. When he wasn't ignoring the other children, he was arguing with them. If he didn't like something that they said, he shoved or hit them. I wasn't sure what to do with Matvey. This was my first teaching job after graduating from the university. I wanted to help the boy learn and make friends. I tried to make the lessons more interesting. I really tried to talk with Matvey. Nothing helped. I couldn't do anything. Coming home from school one day, just a few weeks into the school year, I turned to God in prayer. I asked God for patience and wisdom to find a way to work with that boy. In the morning, I prayed again. "God, please lead me as I teach today. Show me how to work with Matvey and how to teach him. Help me to be a good teacher to all the children." I prayed for him every morning and every evening for 6 weeks. One day, I noticed a big change in the classroom. He didn't stand up and shout his questions. Instead, he sat quietly and raised his hand. He stopped ignoring, shoving, or hitting the other children. Instead, he spoke to them kindly. One day he saw that one of the other boys lost his pencil and couldn't do his schoolwork. "Here," he said. "Take mine." I was touched. Matvey only had one pencil, and he was giving it away. Another boy saw that Matvey needed a pencil and gave him one of his. Matvey began to make friends. The children liked him. He was kind and generous. He was willing to share whatever he had. It was a big lesson for me. I understood that we are God's children. God shows such patience and love toward us. God works our whole lives to refine our characters. He did a miracle in my life. I never thought he could change Matvey so quickly. I understood when we do everything that we can, God does that which is impossible for us.